Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Joining us now is Ojinika Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinix.
Good morning, Dr.
Thank God it's Friday.
TGIF as always. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Perfect. Good morning.
We missed you yesterday.
Yes. I had some serious engagement. So, how are you, Ayo?
I'm good.
Perfect.
How are you too?
I'm holding up. Well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Doris Uzoka Anete, has come under fire on social media after she appeared before the Senate Committee on Trade and Industry to defend the 2024 budget of the ministry on Tuesday. Senator representing Edo North, Oshiomhole, speaking during the panel session, condemned the allocation of 1 billion naira to maintain the ministry's office in Geneva, Switzerland. He argued that officials at the Trade Ministry office in Geneva should take up more responsibility. He also questioned why the minister was always absent from her office. Let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
Number 2, no be found in your office and be found elsewhere. He claimed to know where you were. I don't know whether he's tracking you. But there is one major thing that I've seen in all the committees that I've attended, and this is something the Senate has to look at. Every time Nigeria has to travel, including your ministry, I use the word, and excuse me, but we need to be brutally frank, but not brutal to people, but in terms of calling a spade a spade. We always have the largest delegation of Nigerians to trade missions. Now I see in your proposal, you have trade mission in Geneva, and you are going to spend almost over 1.70 billion naira to maintain your Geneva office, which means ideally you have trade experts in that office. And when I used to go to Geneva, where Nigerian ministers go with 30-man delegation, America will use their trade officers in Geneva to attend those meetings. They are just pure technical people. In Nigeria, the minister will lead the delegation, and by the time you multiply now, I don't know what the extra code is now, times 1,000, whatever it is, you'll find that ministers in trying to help put their people on trips, they don't attend the meetings, and they spend most of that time shopping at the expense of taxpayers. That explains substantially why you will find huge overhead. I'm just asking myself, you are going to spend in your ministry 900, that is headquarters alone, 5 million naira, and sometimes when you put per 202 kobo, I really don't know how these numbers are generated, because nobody sees kobo anymore. It doesn't exist. And every budget they put it there as if it was meant to be a joke. Budget is meant to be an honest statement, not a formality.
Budget is an honest statement, not a formality. I thought Oshiomhole made a lot of valid points, but we've got mixed reactions from his statement as well. But I thought that he did really good. This is from Timmy, who wrote, "Imagine having 50% of Oshiomhole's kind in the Senate and the House of Representatives asking the right questions and demanding accountability and transparency. How can you know how to spend lavishly, but don't know how to improve what you met in the office?" Well, Kazim wrote, "Senator Oshiomhole sounds like a hypocrite. Did he accept the imported SUV given to him? Did he complain of the large envoy in Dubai for the recent climate discussion? The politicians need to be consistent. Don't grill one and allow the other. Don't play to the gallery either." Well, in that panel discussion, Dr. Oshiomhole also questioned Doris Anete over, I believe, some SUV worth over 160 million naira. He asked, are those vehicles made in Nigeria vehicles? But as you heard that other Twitter user saying, did Oshiomhole actually accept the SUV? They were Toyota vehicles, by the way, the SUVs that were bought for the senators.
Well, we've been talking about a budget process this morning in Rivers State, where the governor presented a budget to a parliament of 5 persons, and in less than 24 hours, the budget had been signed. But in any case, this is different.
Right.
At least we see some attempt at rigor to ask questions, to interrogate what the ministries, departments, and agencies at the federal level bring to Parliament. And what we have seen here in the case of the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, what is called MITI, is what you have just brought before us. Well, I guess Mr. Segun Aganga, who was once the head of that ministry, was minister in that ministry. Wherever he is now, he must be laughing at, what have they turned this ministry into? And what they've turned it into is actually ludicrous from the time of Buhari to the moment. What is the issue here? Oshiomhole was asking the woman that you are spending 1 billion. She has since come out to say they are not spending 1 billion on trip. But her explanation that I have seen in the papers today looks exactly like an afterthought. She had the opportunity to defend herself in front of Oshiomhole there. She could not. Oshiomhole also asked her about balance of trade between Nigeria and China. Her response was that the ministry has no data.
Yes, that was her
How
response.
can the Ministry of Trade and Investment not have data?
Well,
maybe she will come with another afterthought and said she didn't mean it that way.
Absolutely.
What kind of ministers are these?
At this point, she's still meeting with the Senate, and I did think that she provided some answers. She talked about data, which is the fact that there's not enough data. But in the meantime,
there's no data.
There's no data.
And
The concrete
Oshiomhole referred
data.
her to customs and other agencies.
Right,
and MBS.
which eventually will be provided.
Yes,
I hope
yeah.
so. But Ayo, before I come to you, in the meantime, the First Lady of Nigeria, Remi Tinubu, has pledged her commitment to advocating for women's economic empowerment, stating that women are not just beneficiaries, but integral contributors to the nation's progress and prosperity. The First Lady spoke after she was conferred with the Grand Patron of the National Council for Women Societies at the State House in Abuja.
I firmly believe that empowering women is not just a matter of social justice, but also as a catalyst for national development. When women are empowered, they become agents of change, driving economic growth, fostering peace and stability, and nurturing the next generation of leaders. I will thrive more in addition to what I've been doing already through the Renewed Hope Initiative, to create an enabling environment for women.
All right, we're seeing Remi Tinubu again here, providing some sort of succor for women. I love that statement. Even, she met with the women at the State House. She even talked about the fact that there's not enough advocacy for HIV vaccine, and the rate of HIV in Nigeria is quite appalling. Congratulations to Remi Tinubu. Ayo.
All right, so congratulations to Her Excellency, Mrs. Remi Tinubu, First Lady of Nigeria, and also once First Lady of Lagos State, and she mentioned that she had served as a state patron for the NCWS during her time or tenure as First Lady in Lagos State. This is an honor bestowed on her, especially with respect to her position. But beyond that, there's also a responsibility that comes with that office. Hopeful that she would champion the cause of women, which is what the NCWS, as a coalition of different women's societies across the nation, stands for. They are there to represent the welfare of women in Nigeria, there to ensure that women are well represented, not just in government, but that they're also able to actively participate in nation building.
Absolutely.
One of such is that I'll remind the First Lady, and according to what she said, through the Renewed Hope Initiative, the plight of women would be looked into especially and well favored in this administration. Is that one of the promises of the president during his campaign to women was that he was going to ensure that 35% affirmative action for women in public office, in terms of positions in public office, would be given to women. I hope that they will fulfill that promise. Beyond that, there are some quick wins for this administration, especially when it comes to women. Number one, ensure that women feel empowered and enabled to actively participate in governance. One of which is, on a broader scale, tackle security. This is obviously it's not gender specific, but of course one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to come out on day of election or perhaps to speak out when it comes to issues that matter to me is because I don't feel safe. So one of the things to thank the women who came out to champion votes for the president is to ensure that women feel safe and secure. Then we talk about health. Let's ensure that women's maternal health is looked into, that we look at how women can be best supported so that we can reduce maternal mortality in Nigeria. Also education. We had a conversation this week about education and ensuring that more girls go to school. Nigeria, unfortunately, has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world, and of that percentage, we have more girls who are out of school. So how do we ensure that more girls are going back into school? So initiatives to drive this. The NCWS over the years has been praised and criticized for the role they play in championing women's rights, women's welfare in Nigeria. Sometimes they've been accused of being too docile, obviously because of the source of their funding, not being from government, and the fact that they don't get to speak out or speak up against government. I'm hoping that her role as Grand Patron would strengthen that institution. Let's see more women come out and speak out. Great to see the First Ladies come out in support of her as well.
Absolutely. Well said, Ayo. Well, in another development, President Bola Tinubu on Thursday extolled Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio at a colloquium to mark his 61st birthday in Abuja, stating that the efforts of his administration to transform Nigeria's economy, which are yielding results, would not have been possible without the support of the National Assembly led by Akpabio and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas. According to him, having both men on his side is enough for him to succeed. Another birthday celebration. Ayo, Dr. Pati, you weren't here when we took the story last week of Godswill Akpabio, at his stadium, the Akpabio Stadium in New York. I mean, that's the video where he came under fire, and a lot of people were talking about the fact that it was such a lavish ceremony. But another story that came out of that colloquium event was that he fainted. But obviously, the special advisor of the Senate president has said that it's a rumor, that he was just tired and he did not faint. Meanwhile, Niger Delta militant leader Asari Dokubo, who was a staunch supporter of President Bola Tinubu during the elections, in a now viral video, described the Tinubu administration as the worst government. Asari made the comments while lamenting over the political crisis in Rivers State, stating that the crisis affects the people of Niger Delta region, especially the Ijaw ethnic group.
Ijaw people are already angry that this is the worst government. This government is against the Ijaw people, and you want to add petrol to fire. This is the worst government. That's the feeling of the Ijaw people. If nobody is telling you, as a friend, I will tell you, Ijaw people feel this is the worst government for them. This is a nightmare for them. And when we were voting, when we were campaigning for you, a lot of Ijaw people called me, President, you don't know Tinubu? You know everything about Tinubu? Tinubu is your friend, no? We hope it's not going to look the other way. And I assured everybody, I say if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible. And today, the people are asking me, are you still on that if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible? Rivers State is the litmus test.
Well, all right, Asari Dokubo there. Dr. Bati, over to you on both stories. I don't even know where to begin with Asari Dokubo. I mean, we did see that he was, supporting Tinubu during the elections. He had come up with a song, Turn by Turn, Najagaban Turn, Turn by Turn. I wish Rufai was here. Wait for your turn. Well, what is he saying here?
Okay, first, let me start with Godswill Akpabio.
Absolutely.
He's 61. Congratulations to him. And what I thought was even more symbolic about his celebration was that he went back home to celebrate his 61st birthday in New York in the same stadium that is named after him,
Yes.
Godswill Akpabio Stadium. And he was able to pull a crowd to make a political statement. Politicians like to be loved, particularly by their people. They like shows of what use is a politician if you don't have people, praising you. But on the occasion of his 61st birthday, we congratulate him. We join others in congratulating him. Now, to President Tinubu, who was speaking at the colloquium that was organized in honor of Godswill Akpabio, he made the point that he's able to succeed so far because of the cooperation he gets from the Senate and from the House of Reps. But he made a point that it's not that he expects that the National Assembly will be an appendage to the presidency. And I noted that not an appendage, because Nigerians have already been saying that this National Assembly is almost behaving like a rubber stamp assembly. We hope that while it is good for the executive, the three arms of government, to have mutual respect and respect the doctrine of powers, it should not be that one party in that, doctrine will violate the spirit, the letters and spirit enshrined in sections 4, 5, 6 of the Constitution. We don't expect that the president will call the Senate president, Akpabio, and he will say, Ogasa! And anything that Oga says he will do. Or the president will call Tajudeen, and Tajudeen will say, Ramkadede, sir. We expect a robust National Assembly that is ready to work, that is ready to do its oversight, that will not be a rubber stamp assembly.
Right.
They can have good interpersonal relations, no problem. We don't say they should go and fight each other. But when it comes to making laws for the good governance and order of Nigeria and also performing oversight functions, that National Assembly, under the leadership of Akpabio and Abbas, should do their work. And Nigerians will be watching. The birthday celebrations, as my teacher says, Professor Femi Oshiomhole, birthdays are not for dying. It's not an occasion when you flagellate a man, but we just must give this cautionary tale. As for Asari Dokubo, the brotherhood, the romance between him and President Tinubu, bromance yes. It is called, yes. You see, I'm surprised it didn't take so long to begin to have cracks.
Not at all.
But in any case, Asari Dokubo is entitled to his own views. It's not that because he says turn by turn, he will also not have an opinion about developments. And less than 1 year down the line, he's saying that this is the worst government that Nigerians have ever seen. Well, that's quite a very strong indictment. And he says that the Tinubu government hates the Ijaw people. That's also quite strong.
Yeah.
But he didn't spell it out. But towards the end of that statement, he made it clear that the situation in Rivers State at the moment is a problem. He's probably one of those persons who expects President Tinubu to intervene and call certain persons to order. And I've been saying that we should not turn President Tinubu into a dictator, into a headmaster, because that's not the expectation of the position of president. There is a fire in Ondo, you call him in as firefighter. There is a crisis in Rivers, you say, oh, he's the one supporting Wike against the Ijaw people. Well, that should not be the role of the president. Politicians themselves should learn to be responsible. We have politicians in this country who behave like kindergarten. And they expect that the president is the father who must carry them on his back and must always intervene to come and douse fires that they have set up in their own backyard. I hope that's not what Dokubo is saying. However, the same Asari Dokubo, who sounded as if he was defending the interests of Sim Fubara, has also come out within the last 24 hours to condemn Simi Fubara demolishing the State House of Assembly. Yeah. So if, Asari Dokubo has found a new career as a man who will say the truth, regardless of his personal relationship and interest, I think that will be a welcome development.
Well,
so that we will see that it's turn by turn, it's not born out of sycophancy.
Right.
And that when the truth needs to be said, he will say it.
Right.
So that may be a good development in that regard.
All right.
But people should also be careful. When you say turn by turn, and you say On your, what is that song again?
On your mandate, we shall stand. Jagaban.
Very quickly, I don't know why I don't feel very optimistic in terms of, because we know his antecedents, and almost as if it depends on which side is working for him at a particular time. I'm not going to be surprised if next week he and the president have mended their, whatever is going on, and then it comes out to again say that this is the best president since, president started, ruling in Nigeria. So I think it's quite interesting to see. It's good for him to speak out on behalf of his people, but I think there's also importance in exercising caution. We don't want to heat up what is already a heated up polity. So let's also take responsibility. And he's not known for tact when it comes to speaking, or speaking in such a way as to promote peace and not to incite or aggravate situations. So I think there also needs to be care taken there. But let's not forget that this is the same person that was singing, turn by turn. He was the staunchest, if I can use that word, supporter, supporter of the President Tinubu administration. So I wonder what must have gone awry. But very importantly also that in his statements, he also be careful. He's a statesman in his personal estimation.
Well, I look forward to a new song from him, though. I don't know what it's going to sound like. It's Asari's turn now, though, to tell the truth as we see it. Well, all right. We shall take our final story in Osun State, where the state governor, Ademola Adeleke, who has been on a month-long working vacation overseas, has finally returned. Well, upon arrival at the airport on Wednesday, the governor was in a jovial mood, speaking to reporters. The governor said he feels refreshed and recharged to do more for the good people of Osun State.
I have good news to Osun people. Your governor is fit. Can't you see me? And I'm so happy, that I'm back.
The opposition said His Excellency is very sick and he has been moved out of Nigeria to seek medical attention.
When I was coming in, did you see me with a wheelchair?
No.
Can't you see me?
Of course.
Can't you see me like this? Am I looking good or what?
Very looking good.
That's it. So they're just embarrassed because of our achievement, because of our progress. Like I said the other time on my interview, when they go low, we go high. So that's it.
Now that you are back,
yes.
What do people of Osun expect?
Oh my God. Good is all the way. Good tidings all the way. I love you all.
The fit dancing senator, I love that quote. When they go low, we go high. That was from Michelle Obama. I love that.
The confidence, the sass, the enthusiasm,
absolutely,
the sense of humor,
absolutely,
commendable. And I'm sure that the people of Osun, they are used to him now. When he's not drumming, he's dancing, and it's always in high spirits.
Have you seen him play soccer? It's amazing. He dribbles so well. He dances well. He's, exercising.
He drums well too.
He drums well too. I haven't seen that.
You need to see him.
I just saw his dance challenge with our Rufai Oseni. That was epic. I mean, we saw him with Dino Melaye also dancing. But I mean, it's good that he's debunked this rumor. It is quite unfortunate that people go about and say these types of things. I mean, for what purpose?
Well, we don't really blame them, Oji, because of what we've seen in other parts and the fact that, unfortunately, public officials seem to hide their, maybe it's cultural, not just public officials, hide their medical records, medical fitness, or how fit they are. It was good to see, not just by his spokespeople coming out to say on his behalf, from the horse's mouth, in that way, saying that he's fit, and even giving us a little jogging episode. The only thing I'll say though is that he said he went for a working vacation to Thailand. What's a working vacation? And then he said he had the opportunity to meet with some investors. Who are these investors? What did he bring back for the Osun people beyond the goodies? Can he break it down for us? I think it's really important for us to talk about.
Well, hopefully we get to see that. I hope
they will not restrict the goodies to Osun.
No, they would not. They will not. I hope not. Anyway, well, when they go low, we go high. Well, I'd like to thank you both for your great analysis as always. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Well, all right. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all next week.